Welcome to the Twisted Tentacle Inn. I'm your Innkeeper, and today we'll be talking about the top 10 healing spells. My only requirements for this top 10 list is that the spell has to heal actual hit points, not grant temporary hit points, and the spell cannot be just a spell that brings you back from the dead, like Revivify, let's say. It has to actually be a healing spell that heals hit points. I know that some people say that Polymorph is a healing spell, and I understand why they say that. I'm just not going to include it in this list, but know that it's there, and some people think it's a healing spell. So, starting off with number 10, Goodberry. This is a first level druid spell. Basically, you make some berries and they heal 1 hit point whenever someone eats it. And it makes them feel full for the day, so it's like they ate a big meal. Goodberry is a very versatile spell, and you can make 10 of them. So you can actually start accumulating them because they last a little bit of I think it's 24 hours. So you can put them in a bag, make some more, put them in a bag, and then you'll have these healing berries that you can give out to people. Certainly handy, nothing major or that's going to break anything, but it's something that I think can be very useful in a game, especially outside of combat. At number 9, we have Healing Word. This one is a great spell because it's a remote healing spell. You don't have to be right next to your target in order to heal them. You don't have to be touching them. You can be up to 60 feet away and heal them, which is great, especially in the midst of a combat. If you as the caster don't want to get in the middle of the melee or be put in danger, you can still heal your frontliners from far away. The spell doesn't heal a whole lot of damage, but it certainly can help in dire situations. And if someone goes down, you can bring them up with the extra hit points. At number 8, we have Healing Spirit. This is a Druid and Ranger spell. It's a 2nd level spell. When it first came out, it caused a huge debacle in the community. A lot of people were saying that it was broken and ruining the games. I don't understand how. Honestly, I feel like people were making a bigger deal than they needed to about it, but that's just my opinion. I wasn't there. Who knows? Maybe it did break their game, I guess. But anyways, they eroded the spell and reduced its capabilities a little bit. But it's still a great spell. It's a bonus action to cast, which is awesome. Anytime a creature starts a turn near the spirit that you create, they get to heal 1d6 hit points. This is awesome, both inside and outside of combat. It's even better outside of combat, but inside of combat, it's still really helpful. If people are moving through it and they're healing a d6 every round, that's can be very impactful. So, very good spell. Not broken, wasn't broken before the fix, but it is what it is. At number 7, we have Aura Vitality. This is a 3rd level paladin spell. Basically, paladins are known to have auras, so it's definitely a concentration spell. But in a 30-foot radius, anyone that is within the aura, you can use a bonus action to cause them to heal 2d6 hit points, which is really good. And for a 3rd level spell, it's not bad that you can do this every round and just concentrate on it and just give healing as your bonus action. Paladins generally don't have a whole lot to do with their bonus action, so why not? Why not be healing others while you're in the middle of a fight? Really cool. I really like this spell a lot. Anything that uses one resource but can heal for several rounds is great in my book. At number 6, we have Life Transference. This one is a weird one. Wizards get it and clerics get it. I don't think it's as good in wizards because they don't have a whole lot of hit points to give. But for a cleric, you can modify your character by getting feats that grant you more hit points or having a high constitution score to really help you manage this spell. Basically what it does is you take some damage when you cast it, and you can pick a creature within 30 feet and heal twice the amount of hit points that you took as damage. So you roll 4d8, let's say you roll 20 total. You take 20 health damage, but you heal them 40 points. For a 3rd level spell slot, healing, a tremendous amount of the maximum would be 64 points of damage. That is significant. And yeah, you take quite a bit of damage yourself, but if you're casting this spell, you're probably not going to be a frontline fighter. Use your hit points as a resource to heal others. And I think it's a really interesting design. Plus, it's remote, so you can cast it, the range isn't super great, but 30 feet is good enough where you can still be a little bit away from danger and be able to heal your frontliners. And healing the amount that this spell can heal can be a huge turn of the tide of battle. So I think that this spell is one that a lot of people overlook, and I use it whenever I play a cleric. I get this spell. In fact, I'm playing a campaign, a Humblewood campaign right now, where my cleric is leveraging this spell, and it's been great. People are loving the fact that I can heal that much in the middle of a combat. Next up is Mass Cure Wounds. This is a Bard, Cleric, and Druid spell. I love spells that do something like this. It's a ranged spell, so you can affect creatures up to 60 feet away within a 30-foot radius sphere that you create within range, and any creature that you choose within there heals 3d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. That's not a bad amount. And if you have, let's say, 4 party members that you affect with that, you're healing quite a bit. Let's say you roll 15 points. That's 15 points times 4 party members. That's 60 total hit points that you healed for your party in one casting. I love it. I love it. And the best part is that you can combine this with Beacon of Hope and maximize it. So now you're healing 24 plus your spellcasting modifier to everyone within that circle. So combine this with Beacon of Hope, and I think that you'll see your party surviving tons more combats than you normally would. And all it takes is that one spell and holding concentration on Beacon of Hope. Really, really awesome spell. I love spells that can target multiple creatures with one cast. At number 4, we have Hero's Feast. This one is definitely not a spell you're going to cast in combat. You cast it before your adventuring day. But what's great is the benefits last for 24 hours. Not only do the characters that consume the meal get healed of all these different effects, such as like poison and that kind of stuff, but they also gain 2d10 hit points added to their maximum. These are not temporary hit points. Their actual maximum hit points increase by that amount, and then they heal the same amount. So the rest of the adventuring day, let's say you have a fighter with 80 hit points maximum, you roll 2d10, now let's say you roll 15, now they're going to have 95 hit points for the rest of the adventuring day as their maximum. That's really awesome. And the fact that you can affect your entire party, you've effectively healed your entire party 2d10 hit points all in one shot. It's great. Great spell. Plus the additional benefits that it grants you. I mean, how can you go wrong with this spell? What's great is it takes 10 minutes to cast this. So let's say you don't necessarily have time for a full-on short rest. Cast Hero's Feast. Have 10 minutes of gorging yourselves, and now your party is even better off than they were had they taken a short rest. At number 3, we have Heal. Heal is a Cleric and Druid spell. It's a 6th level spell. Takes 1 action to cast and has a 60-foot range, which is great. I love ranged healing spells. You basically pick a creature and they regain 70 hit points. That is a lot of hit points in one casting. Yes, it's a 6th level spell, but even though you have spells like, say, Mass Cure Wounds that can heal about 70 points if you target it right, the fact is those 70 are divided over several characters. Generally, you'll have 1 or 2 party members who are affected by damage more than others because they're frontliners, so they're taking all the hits. So your barbarian might have been taking 60 points of damage throughout a combat, and everyone else only took 10. Well, a spell like Heal is great because target that barbarian, get him up 70 points right away. That's awesome, and it just happens, and it just works, and it's simple and effective. At number 2, we have Aid. This one's an awesome spell. It kind of reminds me of Hero's Feast, but like a lesser version of Hero's Feast. But what's great is that it's a 2nd level spell. Artificers, Clerics, and Paladins can cast it. And what it does is 3 creatures, you could be one of the 3, have their hit point maximum increased by 5 when you cast it. And that lasts pretty much the whole day. And then when you upcast a spell, you can add 5 to that. So if you upcast it to a 4th level spell, you're looking at 15 extra hit points added to the maximum of 3 different characters. That's a total of 45 hit points healed. Not only are they healed, but their maximum is increased by that amount, which is fantastic. So Aid is a spell that I always take if I can get it. I think Divine Soul Sorcerers, if you're playing a Divine Soul Sorcerer, this is one spell that you absolutely should be getting. Clerics should be getting it. I mean, it's just a spell that I think is well worth the spell slots. And for number 1, we have Mass Heal. This is a 9th level spell castable only by Cleric. It's a ranged heal, 60-foot range, and basically what happens is you get a total of 700 hit points that you can divide amongst any number of creatures that you see within range. So why do I like this spell so much? Yes, it's a 9th level spell, I get it. But unlike Mass Cure Wounds, where it just affects everybody evenly, or heal that just affects one target. What I was saying before, not all creatures are going to be taking the same amount of damage in a combat, not all party members. So your wizard, your rogue might be taking a lot less damage than your fighter and your paladin. So a spell that universally heals 20 hit points to everybody is not going to be an even distribution to the people who are injured the most. Whereas a spell like Mass Heal, where you have a pool of hit points that you can divide however you want, is going to be extremely beneficial for a party, because if that fighter is down 80 hit points and the barbarian's down 100 hit points, but your wizard's only down 20, you can heal them all the exact amount and nothing wasted there. So I love it. I wish more healing spells in Dungeons and Dragons worked like this. In fact, I wish almost all of them worked like this. It would make healing a much more interesting play style and a much more interesting kind of type of character. So too bad, but at least they got this one spell right. So heal, or Mass Heal, is definitely going to be number one as the best healing spell in the game. And it's fitting because it's a 9th level spell. So that does it for my list of top 10 healing spells. What did you think? Did I get some things wrong? It's your list a little different than mine. I'd love to see your rankings and your reasons why. And if I missed a spell completely, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. As always, I'm your Innkeeper from the Tentacle Inn. Check in anytime. I'll talk with you then.
Down there.